Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And T-Mobile is on the move once again. This is a very important part of their business internally, I'm told. They are very focused and they have a lot of priority on expanding the network into rural America. It's a huge priority. People have asked me, why all of a sudden is T-Mobile so focused on the rural expansion and footprint? Why haven't they bumped the capex to reflect this type of growth and expansion? And the response I have to that in this video is T-Mobile is a business. They're a multi-billion-dollar corporate conglomerate. They have internal forecasting tools, and of course there's higher up executives that run these segments, and they can forecast where the market is shifting, or at least, somewhat accurately forecast. They know, as a company, they know that urban, even the suburban market, is going to be very saturated going forward, right? We've already had many new companies enter the space via MVNO, right? We got Google Fi, we got US Mobile. I mean, it's just getting packed in the space. And now we have more companies that are coming in without even knowing who else wants to come in the future, right? We just recently, we're going to have Mobile X enter the market. I know the channel is somewhat familiar with Peter Adderton and his brand. He's coming in. He wants to be disruptive, right? We know Dish is coming too. We haven't even heard what they have to say. They speak May 10th, right? Their analyst day is May 10th. And that's when we learn about their plans and what they want to come to the market with. So that's another player that's coming in. We have all these cable companies, even though their footprint is smaller, they're not coming in too. We just recently had Altice sign a deal with T-Mobile, and they're going to use the Optimus mobile brand to come in. That's another player, right? Then WOW recently announced that they want to come into the space with Reach Mobile, and that's also an MVNO partner of T-Mobile. So that'll come in the future. We got Cox Communication that's getting ready to launch with, likely, I'm quite sure, with Verizon, another player coming into the market. Plus, on top of everything else that's already there, we got Verizon using TracFone. They're going to get more aggressive. So it's just, I think personally, there's too much going on. There's too many brands. And that's something that I kind of am happy that they approved the Sprint T-Mobile merger, because that's one thing that John was really pushing during the trial, that it's not going from 4 to 3, it's going from 3 to 6, 7, 8. And what John was saying at the trial is now coming to fruition. There is many, many more players that have entered the market since the merger has been approved. And there's more of them are coming, right? More of them are going to come into the market to play. It's just going to happen. They smell money. Everybody wants a piece of it. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. We already got Spectrum Mobile. We got Charter. I mean, it's just going to be super, super tightly packed. So T-Mobile knows that. T-Mobile is well aware of the future forecast, current trajectories, current guidance, and they have to shift. They just have to shift. Even if that means they got to focus more of that investment towards rural United States, then that's what they'll do for the business. So there is a capex outlook up until, I think, at the analyst day 2026, around there, and it has them sitting at 9 to 10 billion. But I'm sure future forecasts and projections probably show them losing some of that share internally in the urban cores. So that means there's going to be less people on the network overall. It's just going to happen. You kind of have to take those punches. If somebody comes in and $5-10 a line, and they start taking your share, I mean, at some point it just doesn't make sense to fight back, because you're just operating at a loss, right? If you start offering retention offers and, hey, I'll match the $5 price, you're going to end up losing money on that same customer. So you just want to let them go. So T-Mobile is going to start shifting priorities. They're going to start shifting, which we're going to see. They're going to start shifting towards business. They're going to start shifting towards home broadband, and they're going to start shifting towards rural America. There's about, I think, 40 plus million population to pull from. And that area is, of course, not saturated because, it's been underpenetrated by T-Mobile for a long time now. So there's only been two players. T-Mobile comes in as the third. There's growth to pull from in that segment. So again, as you see in this article, T-Mobile first store in Surgeon Bay, Wisconsin, first retail store. So there's two parts to the expansion, as I've said in previous videos. One is the network. The network has gotten to many places now, and now they have to catch that footprint with retail distribution, and they're doing so at a quite good pace, right? Like in this article, first store opens there. Now they can start distribution the product, right? Home internet, wireless, smartwatches, whatever the customer wants, they can start shopping at this first retail location in Wisconsin, in Surgeon Bay, Wisconsin. So let me know what you think about this. Let me know your outlook on T-Mobile. Like I said, they have to start shifting into rural. That's why I kind of started the video off with that, because the company has to make a shift in focus. T-Mobile's not going to lower pricing any more than they already are to further compete in that urban space, because everyone else that's coming in as an MVNO is going to be cheaper because they don't have to operate the cost of a network. So they're going to come in cheaper, right? Which some are going to consider disruptive, right? Dish can't come in at the same price as T-Mobile or Verizon. That ain't going to work. They're going to have to come in lower, right? These MVNOs, through these cable companies like Altice, Cox, they're probably going to come in lower to kind of bundle, and then they're going to focus on that ARPA growth, the average price per account. That's what they're going to work with. Wow is going to come in with Reach Mobile. I mean, there's just so many players in that space now. So it just makes sense for T-Mobile to shift outwards. If let's say they project, for example, El Paso, let's say T-Mobile projects a 5% decrease in market share by 2026, for example, right? So now they're going to be like, okay, I'm growing my home broadband. So that'll allow me to sell more home broadband, because now I lost 5% share in this specific market, right? But now you got to look at, okay, I'm projecting a 5% decrease in all these markets. How do I make up for that growth, right? Because home broadband is only like one product, one line. So that's not going to make up for the growth of wireless, where you're bringing in families with 4 or 5 lines. It's just not going to look as good when you present to the investors. So like I said, they got to start shifting out. They have to start shifting out. They got to start getting the rural population. They got to start getting those lines over to them so they can start posting the growth again, right? 1/3 in Q4, 1/3 of activations from new lines came from rural. Just keep that in mind as we head to the Q1 earnings. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel. Like, share, subscribe. Follow my social media outlets for more updates and interactions. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See you in the next one. Peace.